Alright, in this video we're taking a look at the current War Thunder events and just how grind intensive they really are. There are a few kind of events in game, but in this video we'll be focusing on the rotating events that allow you to grind and unlock a unique event vehicle. If you've been trying to complete the current Freedom Fighter event, probably already know what I'm talking about, but let's go ahead and break it down. So, first off, let's talk about what makes this event particularly tough in their current format. Like most of these events, you have to grind to complete a bunch of subtasks which reset every 2 days, and the current one requires you to get 45,000 score every 2 days. This is your score in a match with a multiplier depending on the tier of the vehicle played and the mode, such as AB, RB or Sim. However, the issue isn't just the requirements themselves, it's how long it actually takes to hit these numbers for some players. If you're a more casual player, meaning you only get a couple of hours to play War Thunder, you're already at a massive disadvantage when it comes to these events. Some of these tasks require several matches to complete, and when you multiply that across multiple stages of the event, you start to realise that this is basically a full-time job, especially if you have only lower ranked vehicles and cannot take advantage of the score multiplier for high tier vehicles. And that of course is assuming everything goes smoothly. If you have a bad game, bad teams, or you're just not using an optimised vehicle for grinding, you can easily fall behind. And once you're behind, catching up is even harder, as you may only be left with the option of buying progress with Golden Eagles. For other players however, this isn't really a problem, and each subtask can be done in a few hours or so, spread over each 2-day period. Though the air events are often easier to grind than the ground-based vehicle ones, I personally found that the air events themselves are okay, but that is with top tier vehicles in Air RB. This normally takes me a couple of hours over the 2-day periods, which isn't something that everyone can do, though the ground-based events do take a lot longer to grind through, in my opinion. And finally, you have the voucher unlock. This allows you to sell the vehicle on the marketplace when the event is over. This requires even more score grinding and is simply out of reach for many players. Now, if we compare this to past events, it feels like the devs have slowly been making these more and more time consuming, requiring higher score. Older events still required a lot of grind, but at least the score requirement was less. Obviously the score requirement is higher, the higher tier the reward vehicle actually is, but it does feel like a higher score overall needed compared to past events. The current structure also feels like it's designed to push players towards either spending Golden Eagles to skip tasks, or playing the game for hours on end every single day. There also seems to be less time in between the events, with some players who play multiple modes such as ground and air getting easily burnt out, grinding one event after the other. There is of course the argument that these events are entirely optional and you don't have to do them. So, is it actually worth grinding this event, or any of the newer format events? Well, that depends. If you're someone who enjoys the challenge and you have the time to commit, then sure, go for it. If you're going to play anyway, you might as well get a unique unlock out of it. Similarly, if the event vehicle is one you're interested in, it may also be worth the grind. But for the average player, unless you're playing War Thunder as your main game, you may be better off playing casually and seeing how far you get, or simply skipping the event entirely. The unfortunate part of this is that these event vehicles are often unique and won't come back anytime soon. So if you really want them, you don't have much of a choice but to grind the event or buy them from the marketplace. At the end of the day, I think the devs need to find a slightly better balance between challenge and accessibility. Right now, the grind is a bit too extreme for a lot of players, and does seem to keep increasing every few events, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more backlash from the community. Let me know what you think in the comments below. How are you handling this event? Have you been grinding it? Are you skipping it? Do you think the grind is just too much overall, and that the devs should tone this down a bit? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button for more War Thunder content. Thanks for watching.